Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Enrichment, where we talk to small business owners and entrepreneurs on strategies and best practices. So let's get right to it. This week, our subject is beer. Well, yes, but in a roundabout way. It's fair to say that success is always predicated on action, or what you do. However, what you do has to start with what you know. Years ago, a company that I worked for staged a beer brewing contest. Any department or group that could form a team could enter. So at the time, there happened to be a local company called Brewers Heaven, and they were set up to allow amateurs, such as myself and my team, to use their equipment and their facilities to brew their own beer. They had the equipment, the ingredients, the recipes, the bottling machines. They even had label design and printing. So, having been known to drink an occasional beer, a few others and I formed a team and we set to work. We settled on an ale recipe that looked good, and over the course of several weeks, we brewed our beer and entered it into the contest. Now, I'm in Rhode Island, and at the time, Buddy Cianci was the mayor of Providence, and he was in the news for alleged wrongdoings. So in line with the times, when we brewed our beer, we called our brew, "What Ails Buddy?" We didn't win, but we each came away from the contest with a few six-packs and the experience of learning how to brew beer. At least that's what I thought. Capitalizing on what I thought I knew, and I started dreaming of amazing my friends with my delicious home-brewed beverages. So I began saving empty beer bottles, purchased some equipment, researched some recipes, bought the ingredients, and I got to work. Everything was bubbling right along until several days after bottling. At about 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, I was lying in bed, and I heard a muffled boom in my basement. And upon investigation, yes, indeed, I found shattered bottles and beer all over the floor. It appeared I didn't know everything I should have known. Apparently, store-bought beer bottle glass is thin, really thin, which they can get away with because the beer has been finished brewing in the factory before it's bottled. However, when home brewing, the beer continues to ferment in the bottle, which produces enough gas and pressure to cause the bottles to explode. Oops. So, what's the takeaway? Too often, we learn a little bit, and we think we know what we need to know. We're all familiar with the saying, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. As with my beer brewing adventure, I knew just enough to get myself in trouble. Luckily, I only had a mess to clean up and the loss of the cost of the ingredients, that sort of thing. However, when we embark on a job for a client, without knowing what we're doing, we risk the client's money as well as our reputation and perhaps even theirs. An article in Harvard Business Review by Art Mockman asks the question, do you know what you don't know? And he talks about knowledge gaps and how important it is to recognize them. He also recognized that we need a way to do that. So he recommends an almost foolproof method to identify your own knowledge gaps. Essentially, he advises us to explain our ideas, our business, our credentials, and our products or services to someone else, such as a friend or an associate. Make sure they appreciate that their assignment is to ask questions and push you for clear, understandable explanations. The goal of this exercise is not to impress them with your knowledge, but to impress upon yourself what you don't know. The best way to end it is to ask them, when you're done, to explain back to you what it is about your product or your services that you just told them. If they can't do that, then you need to go back to the drawing board. To end with a quotation, as I like to do, Frank Herbert, author of the popular Dune trilogy, said, "The beginning of knowledge is the discovery of something we do not understand." Well, I hope you get something out of that. If you have any questions on anything that we talked about, reach out to me, Rich at speakingofsuccess.us, and we'll have a conversation. And until next week, everybody stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.